Hello everyone, welcome to the session 8 of IT 402, that is the internet security. Today we will learn about the internet security. The learning inside the internet security has been divided into the three parts. In the first part we will get the relevant knowledge about the internet security, and in the second part we will see what are the best practices that we should follow for the internet security. And in the third part we will get some hands-on practices such as clearing data stored in the browsers that we will discuss about the Mozilla Firefox browser. Okay, now let's move to the first section, that is the getting relevant knowledge about the internet security. So here we will learn about the 6 things, that is what is internet security, objective of the internet security, pros and cons of the internet, and which data is more prone to attack over the internet, and what is malware, and some of online threats. So we will begin with the what is internet security. So internet security is a branch of computer security specifically related to the internet. It involves both browser security and network security. So here it states that our data is not secure both over the network and inside the browser, and we may get attacked through the network or through the browser too. So our internet security basically concentrate on both of these sections, over the network security and the browser security too. So let us learn what are the objectives of the internet security. The objective of the internet security is to establish rules, that is the protocols. Protocols are the set of rules that we should follow to communicate over the internet, right? So the objective of the internet security involves establishing such protocols. Next one is the measures. Measures are the set of actions that we should take against the attacks over the internet. So let us learn what are the pros and cons of the internet. We all know that the internet provides us the valuable information. If you want to learn something new, then internet provides us of thousands of sources where we can learn the new things. Along with that one, the internet, it will open a door that will lead us to the insecure world, right, where the attacker may attack our data and steal our data. So the internet represents an insecure channel for exchanging information and leading to a high risk of intrusion and the fraud. An intrusion is an act where a third person may intrude the interaction between the two parties, or a person might attack a computer, individual computer, to steal the data. To understand about the intrusion, let us see this example. See here, Nivedita and Varshini are communicating to each other. Nivedita is sending a message, hi to Varshini, right? And over the internet they are communicating. So here a person X may appear in between Nivedita and Varshini, and he may steal the message sent from the Nivedita and read what the content Nivedita is sending to the Varshini, and he may even edit the data and re-forward it to the Varshini. And these kind of things may happen if our network security is low. Now let us move to the next section of which data is more prone to attack, right? See, our username, password, credit card information, online banking information, these kind of informations are more prone to attack. So you need to ensure that your username, password, credit card and online banking information is secure, as they are more prone to the attack. So next we will learn about the malware. Malware is nothing but it is a kind of software. We will usually call it as the malicious software. Malware is nothing but the malicious software. The malicious software, malware, might be installed in your computer when you are going to visit a website. When you visit a website, it may download some applications inside your computer, and without your consent it may install the malware inside your computer. Example of a malware might be a keylogger. Whatever the keys you will type on the keyboard, it will record and it will forward to the person who has installed that software, that malware, inside your computer. So please don't visit the insecure websites which are not from a trusted source. Here we will learn about some of the online threats. So some of the online threats include the phishing, email spoofing and chat spoofing, right? A phishing is an act where a person, an attacker, who will act as a trusted entity. And email spoofing is a process where the attacker will send you an email stating that you have won the lottery and won some prizes, right? What he will tell you is to just provide your bank information. Once you provide him the bank information, whatever the amount is inside your bank, he will take it away. Okay, this kind of act, email spoofing, might be used as a part of phishing. So next one is chat spoofing. Chat spoofing is similar to the email spoofing, only chat spoofing occurs over the messengers. That's the only difference. So these threats over the internet increases the chances of users' information getting compromised. Okay, so now let us learn how to reduce this risk. To reduce these risks, we should follow some basic best practices. So we will move to the next section, that is the best practices for security. As per your syllabus provided, the best practices includes the 13 things. So the first section tells about the password, how to use a strong password, how frequently we should change the password, effectiveness of the password depends on which factors, and how the Gmail checks the effectiveness of the password, and general guidelines for managing strong passwords you will get, and how to generate the random strong password, how we can generate that one, and where to maintain a copy of password, right? About this thing it will tell you. Next you will learn about the usage of encryption software, right? What is encryption software, and why we should keep username and password private, and things to consider while registering on a new website, right? Do not share your personal information. This is one of the best practices. And secure transactions, how we can perform. Along with that one, use antivirus and anti-spyware, where we will learn about the malware and benefits of using antivirus and anti-spyware softwares. So it also consists of how we should respond when we get mails from an unknown users, right? And we will learn about the clearing browser cookies, and keep all software up to date, and install firewalls, how to react when we are downloading the softwares from the unknown source, right? Then finally we are having unwanted or unknown software application, what we should do that one, right? We will first begin with the passwords. We always should use a strong password. The password must be the combination of alphanumeric and special characters, right? And our password should not be easy to crack or guessed by others. Example of some easy guessable passwords are our favorite color, friends, relatives names, bike number, mobile number, date of birth, etc. Okay, these are easily guessed by our friends. Even the person who is very close to us, he can identify our passwords if we keep passwords based on them. Okay, and one more thing is that one of the best practices concerned to the password is that we should frequently we should change, at least once in 2 to 3 weeks we should change our passwords, right? Using a strong password can lower the risk of security breach, and the effectiveness of the password depends upon the two things. The first thing is the security mechanism of the software which we are using, and our involvement, that is our means the user involvement in generating a strong password, right? So some softwares will suggest how we can create the strong passwords, whether our password is strong or not, it will state. So for example, the Gmail will shows how strong is our password when we are trying to register over the Gmail, right? And user even also involve ourselves to generate a strong passwords. General guidelines for managing strong passwords states 7 points. The first point is that keep the length of the password at least 12 to 14 characters if permitted. Most of the websites will permit more than 12 characters, but some softwares, some applications will permit only up to 12 characters. So if the website or the application is permitting you to give more character inside the password, at least keep 12 to 14 characters as the password. Avoid keeping the password based on the repetition of letters, for example AA, B. Likewise, don't repeat the letters. Use different letters. Next one is the dictionary words. Don't keep the dictionary words inside the password that are easy to guess, right? The words which we speak, the word which we read, those words are easy to guess. So don't keep the words which appears inside the dictionaries, and don't keep letter or number sequences, for example ABCD 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Likewise, don't keep such a sequence of numbers. As stated earlier, I stated that we should include the numbers and symbol both in the password if allowed, right? When we use letters, numbers and symbols inside the password, our password will be difficult to crack. So when we are using the letters, now you should use both uppercase and lowercase letters. Always avoid using same password for multiple sites or purposes. For example, if you are using the password kept for the Gmail to other accounts also, then it is easier for the hacker. If he hacks any one system, it will be easier for him to hack your other accounts too. So don't keep such passwords, and don't keep same password for different purposes too. For example, when you log into your bank account application, so while logging in, it will ask for a password, right? There is a one purpose, and when we are trying to transfer money, it may ask another password, right? In our corporation bank, it will ask multiple purposes, different passwords it will ask. So don't keep the same password for the different purposes. The things which you like or dislike dislikes most, don't keep them as the password, because your workmates, your friends, your public, the public may know what you like and what you dislike. As your profile over the Facebook and Instagram, you will state what you like and what you don't like. So don't keep those things as a password, and it's better to use some random password generators if possible. We'll learn about how to generate the random passwords in the next section. So some of the examples of the strong passwords are displayed here. U1VX colon 4H, H should be in the uppercase and D is lowercase, and opening flower bracket and closing box, right, and dollar symbol, right. This is one of the example of the best password, strong password. Okay, let us learn about how to generate the random password, right. Several websites are there online which will provide you best random passwords when you log in over there. So one of the example I have given here is the www.strongpasswordgenerator.org. When we log into that one, to open that one, first you need to open the Chrome browser, and you have to type www.strongpasswordgenerator.org in the URL bar, right. Once you type that one URL and click enter, it will show you the a strong password. If you don't like that one, you can just click on the generate button once again, so that it will generate one more strong password. So always keep copies of personal data and additional in additional media such as the CD or the pen drive. If the data you stored in the hard disk got corrupted, then that one the backup in the CDs and pen drive will be used by you, right, when you forget the passwords. So is it safe to save your data inside the hard disk or the pen drive or the CD drive? No, it's not safe, because unauthorized users may attack, and we can keep the CDs and pen drives away from the unauthorized users, but what about the informations and the passwords that we will store inside the hard disk? No, that is prone to the attack by others. How to guard our such information from the unauthorized users? So the best answer is for that one is to encrypt our data. So to encrypt our data, we need an encryption software. So always use an encryption software to encrypt your files and folders, right. You might have used folder lock and all those things in your computer, right. So if you encrypt our files and folders, your data will become unreadable to unauthorized. So what the encryption will do now, it will convert each letter into something different word, right, different letter. So when the unauthorized user try to access your file, no, he will not be able to read your content. The encryption softwares are built in into the operating system, or you may install from the third party also. Okay, in Windows we are having some of the built-in softwares. So Bitlocker and Encryption file system, these are the built-in softwares in the Windows, right. Bitlocker is good for locking the drive. It will lock the complete drive, right. Okay, next one is the encryption file system. It is also one of the built-in software available inside the Windows, but the encryption software, encryption file system, no, it is not recommended for super sensitive data, as it is easy to crack the encryption file system. Next one is the third-party softwares for operating systems such as Windows 10 Home Edition. No, this BitLocker and encryption file systems are not available. So in such operating system, you have to use the third-party softwares. Download from a trusted third-party softwares and install inside your computer to secure your files and folders. Always keep your username and password private, and never use never save your username and password on computers that are used in shared environment, such as in the internet cafe or in the LAN inside the school, colleges or the office. No, never save your username and password. And some browsers may save your personal information such as the username and password inside the local computer, and when other person sits on that computer, no, he will be able to access your username and password. When you sit on the shared computers, no, you don't know what are the applications installed in that computer. The computer might have installed the key loggers which will just record the keys which you have typed, right. So always be careful when you are using the computer over the shared network. No, always to type a password, always use online keyboard, on-screen keyboard, right. Don't use physical keyboard to type your password. If keylogger software has installed inside your computer, means it will just sense whatever the key has been typed inside the keyboard. But it may also lead to some other problems also if you use the on-screen keyboards. If you are using the on-screen keyboards, what happens if any person is spoofing or he's behind you or he's recording the screen, at that time he may also read your password when you are typing, right? So it is always advisable to you to not log into the banking sites when you are using the computer which is in a shared network. Okay, there are some other measures also you can take. For example, clearing the browsing data after the usage or the cookies, right? After your browsing, you can delete all the browsing data and the cookies, and also you can browse in incognito mode, right? Before registering yourself to any website, any new website, first read the privacy statement or policy. While registering with websites, they may ask you some personal questions such as name, gender, age, address, email, phone number. So be cautious when filling such forms. Check the trustworthiness of the website. Think twice before providing personal information, right? Besides, is it really necessary to provide this information? Or if the information we don't provide, will it be okay? Just provide the information which are mentioned compulsory. Okay, don't provide all the information, and check the trustworthiness of the website before providing such information. Your email and phone number can be used by unauthorized user to send fake or unwanted mails or messages to you. When you shop over the online some websites, the online shopping websites, they will save your bank information such as your credit or debit card number and your account details such as the CVV. This information can be used by unauthorized users if such as hackers to misuse the information. The next best practice is to use the antivirus or anti-spyware software. So before understanding the benefits of antivirus and anti-spyware, let us learn what is malware. Malware is a kind of software that we call it as the malicious software. It gets installed in your computer from over the network. When the malware is installed on your computer, it may track your browsing information. So the behavior of the browsing also it will track, and the malware transmits the personal data from your computer to the person who has installed this software, right? Example, keyloggers track every characters that you press on keyboards and transmit to unauthorized users. So the best solution for this one is to install the antivirus and the anti-spyware softwares over your computer. So antivirus and anti-spyware programs offers real-time protection monitoring computer for any changes by malware. When you install the antivirus and anti-spyware programs inside your computer, what it will do is it will just continuously monitor your computer, and when any website is trying to install the malware inside your computer, it will just block that. To defend from the latest malware, so you should always keep your antivirus and anti-spyware softwares up to the date. When you receive an email from an unknown source, do not immediately respond to that mail. It may be a fake mail trying to gather your personal information such as your bank account details, home address, etc. Right? Some mails may promise you job and ask you personal information, so don't provide any information. Some mails announce the lottery results, etc. and make you to send your personal data. Don't provide your personal data, and don't fall inside these kind of phishings. Some mails has viruses scripts attached to the mail, so do not open any attachments from the mails of unknown source. So the next best practice is clear browser cookies frequently. The cookies are the programs that are created on your computer from the websites which you have visited. Originally in a website, the cookies are meant for storing data about the activity you perform, right? So in which pages you have visited. To store that information, such kind of information, we use the cookies, and also store login details such as the username and the passwords, and details about the shopping cart, website you have visited, date and time, etc. Right? This information can be used by an unauthorized user such as the hacker or attacker. The next best practice is to keep all software up to date. Keeping operating system and other softwares up to date, it will make your system more secure. When the operating system developer, he will build the software, he will be not knowing all the loopholes inside his own system. So later when he will come to know what are his loopholes inside his system, he will release a patch for that one. You will receive the notification from the software vendors about the new patches they have released. If you have not received the email, be in touch with the vendors, right? If you are using the genuine Windows operating system, always keep visiting to the Windows website to check any other latest version has been released or not. If version is released, just install that one. The next thing is to install firewalls. Firewalls could be a software or a hardware. It keeps our computer secured from the unauthorized access over the internet, right? It analyzes the network traffic data and determines whether to allow the data or traffics that should be allowed inside or not. In most cases, Windows, Linux and Macs comes with built-in firewalls. Only in the rare cases you may need to configure the firewall additionally just because of the security. Never ever install your softwares, the softwares from an unknown source, right? They might be, it may consist of some other softwares along with the software you are downloading, so they are not trustworthy. It may consist of viruses also, scripts and trojans also. So scripts, trojans, these are all kinds of virus only, right? And understand the nature and purpose of the software before attempt to download and install it, right? Always remove unwanted or unknown softwares from your computer. Some softwares might get installed through different mediums, such as when you visit some websites, when you are installing other software, this software may come as a bundle with that software, right? Example, most toolbars are installed through the bundled softwares only, and they send your personal data without your consent. So be careful, regularly check which softwares have been installed on your computer and in your browser toolbar. In this part, before going to the hands-on practice, we will learn about the behavior of the browser and what measures we should take for security, and after that one we will learn about Mozilla Firefox browsers. Do you know the web browsers have built-in password management that has been designed to store password used in the forms on website, right? For example, when you are logging into the Facebook, it will ask for the username and password. When you will enter the username and password and save the password or remember the password, at that time what it will do, it will just store your username and password inside the cookies in your browser, right? That username and password, when you will log in next time, it will just fetch from the cookies and it will save inside the forms, so that it will save your time while logging in, right? To perform these measures, what you have to do is you have to just open the browser. For example, Mozilla Firefox you will open. So inside the settings you will get something called as a privacy and security. So inside the privacy and security you will be having the cookies and site data. So clear the data. When you open the manage data, it will show the websites which are storing the cookies inside your computer, right? You can just deselect them. If you don't want a website to store a cookies inside your computer, you can remove that website. And also you can give permission, specify which website should store cookies inside computer and which website should not store cookies inside your computer. You can decide by mentioning the website names. Website in the names in the sense URL of that website. Next one is the login and password sections. See, always unselect the ask to save, right, and autofill. When you unselect that one, it will never ask for saving the logins and the passwords, right? And in the history section, never set remember history. When you unset this one, it will never remember the histories of the websites you have browsed through. So this ends the session number 8. We will meet in the next session, session number 9. Thank you for patiently listening to us.